Gonna make it a groove. I will. My Lord is I lost my love. They gonna move to the groove. I will. My Lord is I lost my love. They gonna move to the groove. I will. My Lord is I lost my love.
Mr. Political, Mr. Political. Mr. Political came on in and he has something to share with you that we've got to prepare for the worst. Mr. Political, how are you this morning? And I have to say, that's kind of scary to hear waking up this morning. What exactly do you mean, my brother?
I must start by saying good morning to all my friends in Central Florida. I must give a great shout out to Chocolate City. When I give comment to that we must prepare for the worst, we as Black Americans, I'm not talking for Americans because, I don't do Afro-Americans. Black Americans have endured through some of the worstest crisis economically that this country has ever put forth to a nation that has been held captive. In doing so, we should not suffer this time around. We should prepare ourselves. We should hunker down and start using our minds for other than putting weave and gluing weave in, and come up with new concepts for businesses to sustain our communities when our government falls short. These are the challenges of the next 45 days. This is your assignment, and it's not on the chalkboard. And keep your notes and don't share with others. Okay? And prepare for the worst. Take your stimulus check. A great number of stimulus checks came in today, and they will go to the sidewide pimp, okay, the theology pimp, and the two-legged wonder.
The two-legged wonder?
Yes.
What's the two-legged wonder?
That's the woman that just don't think her shit stink. So everybody want to get next to her, so you got to pay a toll to get through the pearly gates. A two-legged wonder. So don't be dismayed. No, we're not going to die. No, we're not going to go to catastrophic World War III. If anything, you will find somewhere to put all that displaced hatred into and bettering your life. The hatred that you have for Trump, transpose that into making your life better for you and your children. The effort that you made to remove the Teflon Don, okay, because anything you throw at him ain't gonna stick. So you might as well ride it out. He's a temporary resident and with a short-term contract. So don't be worried. Go more internal right now. Start finding and creating different ways, because we're ill-equipped in this new technology age to educate our children because we do not have the resources. We're finding that a great number of parents who have to homeschool their children because of the lockdown, they're not able to do the job. They were not able to pass high school, but they were allowed to. It's called, what is it called? Social promotion. So if you don't want your child to be socially promoted, and then he go out in the cruel world and suffer in the jungle, then you're going to have to think outside the box and come up with a more competent plan than the white man's giving you to educate your child in this world of the internet. Now, if you can come up with 3 ways to braid your hair, you can come up with 2 ways to educate your child. And that's real. God knows I would be going through the same trials and tribulations if my child was of age, educational age. Even though she's in school now, in college, I don't have to be concerned about that.
Yes.
But those who are struggling with babies, and yes, you can be 16 years old and still a baby.
Some of you can't tell that.
Okay.
You can't tell some of them that.
Well, in my household, in my world, my inner circle, if you ain't 32, you still a baby. And that's real. That's real. And I said, yes, that's what I said, 32.
32.
Okay, because you should see some of his 29-year-old credit reports.
Ooh.
Okay, and let's keep it real.
Body blows.
Okay. Now, in my closing, I like to say that we have been blessed to have had some of the best people in our life. Percy Sledge died, which is a sadness because people do not understand Percy Sledge music. He set a trend in America. He set a mindset in America with his music, like great others. Bill Withers has passed, in which I've already told you about that. So all the soldiers are going on to glory. And in doing so, we are the saddened ones because our great heritage and our great richness and the joy that it brings in the wee hours of the night, don't let me get started.
Brother, I wanna ask you, man. I mean, okay,
sir.
We had that in the title and stuff, but you know, things are getting real out here for a lot of people. Now, one thing I've noticed that, you know, we as a people are resilient. We as a people, I hate to say it, but it's a trait. We're used to taking this stuff. I mean, look at the society that we live in for so many hundreds of years. So we don't deserve that, but we're used to that. So now there are some of us that I've noticed, I'm not going to say are beginning to panic, but there are some of us who haven't had to go through something of this magnitude, which I also have to say, I'm not going to say it's an illusion, but the psychic battle of it all, where you have youngsters who are seeing people running around with a mask and kids, some kids don't understand, but there's some grown folks that were on their way out of the mental place of poverty where they started to feel good. And now this is another, because people call me directly, and I do most of my talking on the phone off of the shows because there are people who want to talk to me private, and there's some I still have yet to call. And I'm getting it directly, man. There's some people who are like, say, for example, you know, I'm going back to this place, man. You know, I was doing so good. I was working at my job. Now I'm laid off and I ain't drinking 3 years, but man, I feel so bad because I started drinking, man. And I started smoking again, man. And I don't know, that crack pipe is looking mighty good. What do you tell a person who is grown and knows better? But, you know, we have our struggles. And you know, when we're in school, they tell us, go to school, come out. Like it's this easy now. Go to college, find someone that you like, work a good job, buy that house, get those 2.5 cars with the white picket fence. You know, that's not our story. That's the illusion they're giving us, right? So now we have somebody who felt they were on their way to that, but now the world looks different and they're very discouraged and they're going back to, or about to go back, or they have a gun in their hand. Now, we're not like that, but the gun don't have to be an actual gun like what white folks are jumping off because you lost 10 million out of 50.
Jumping out of windows.
Yeah. The hope for some has been dried up. Talk to that person, male or female, to take them out of that place.
All right. To my brother who's lost in the wilderness of this confusion of this coronavirus and what it's going to do to us in long range, do not be dismayed. Put your faith in God. Find you another habit. Do not let the devil turn your workshop into an idle mind, because that's what draws you into all those negative things. True enough, things look bad. But if you dig down deep into your psychic and into your soul, you know that you are a person of a nation who have seen worse. You survived 32, 29, 78, 92, to 2009, 2011, 2010, and that was 11 doing 10 again, and 12. Now, if you endured this, if you made it past this, then you can do anything. Yesterday, I posted on the last remaining Black, not Afro-American, Black World War II veteran. And in my post, I had made reference to, if this man had the endurance to not only survive the Klan, but the Nazis, then we can do anything.
That's right.
We can survive anything. If we can survive the Klan and the Nazis. You know what I'm saying to you? Do not be dismayed. Do not worry. Hope is not lost yet. And it ain't over yet. Okay? It ain't over yet. So you hang in there, you do the best you can, and you keep on working at it. Because this too will be past in 45 days. It will be all over. The virus will still be here, but it will not be in such a manner that people are walking around here with masks and scaring kids, and you don't know who's going to pull something out of their pocket first in the local store because everybody got on damn masks.
You ain't lying.
Because that's what's going to happen. Sooner or later, we're going to hear about some young buck who figure he the smartest one in the room. And he going to go rob a store. He going to rob a store because he going to figure everybody look alike. But he going to be the short end of the stick because he going to be sitting down there with the Undertaker because these old faces not playing. So I ask you to keep your head on a swivel and continue to grow. It will be all right. That job that you may have got laid off from and you lost was never yours in the beginning. It was created through affirmative action. As they give it, they take it. This America. Mr. Charlie ain't changed. He done went through the evolutionary change of making fire and wearing shoes to create nuclear weapons and havoc throughout the world. So do not be dismayed. Do not be worried. This too shall pass. Lean on everlasting arms. These are all terms and words that you've heard all your life from greater people than you. If you can really evaluate yourself, do a clear self-evaluation of yourself, you've been told by better than you, this too shall pass. And you, as you evolve into a better person and a more wiser person, you will tell the next generation, this too shall pass.
This too shall pass. I have one more for you, brother. One more for you. We got that grandmother who is not really 80 or 70 or 60 or 50 or maybe 40 something or late 30s.
That's try 29.
Well, you know, that's what it is. We're very fertile, right? But we have that grandmother. We have that grandmother who she's strong in her will, but she has a daughter who has children. She has grandchildren, and her husband's not much of a help. Her husband is copped out. He's fallen asleep on the couch and liquor's all over his breath. We have that grandmother who held it together for the whole family. She's been that rock. She's been that thread that held that beautiful garment of a family together.
Yes, sir.
And her daughter is kind of feeling weak. She has children. Mommy, I'm hungry. The money is lean. The daughter has been trying, but she's out of work. And it's not looking good. The grandmother's trying to be that strength, but she's beginning to feel it also. And once the grandmother, no matter what the age, once she begins to feel it, how can she cope in her unique way with those grandchildren and a daughter who's trying to do good, but the food is looking a little lean? You see in the back of the refrigerator more and more these days. The rent is
wishing the light wouldn't come on,
but you couldn't pay the rent now. They say this 3-month thing, but it's not going to make it where you can't pay it or shouldn't pay it. 3 months
you
time
just got an arrearage.
Yeah, we're pretty much driving 110 miles an hour, and there's a brick wall coming up, and we don't know how to operate the brakes. What do you tell that woman on a spiritual level to keep her strong?
What I would tell her, and what I would tell every Black woman, not the Afro-American woman. Now, the Black woman, she will endure this. She will have this go past her like a wind. The Afro-American grandmother, she will struggle. She will be confused. She will do things that is out of her character. But it's no need for that. It's no need to be upset. Tell your daughter to lean on everlasting arms. I know this sounds so simple, and it's easier said than done. But we have been through worse than this. If you dig down in your family history and you go back to the things that endured your family, that made your family thrive in this new millennium, take those old skills, put them to practical use, work adjacent with your daughter and apply new skills to her armor so she'll be able to survive. But working together, you two, who are the matriarch of the family, because we understand the structure of the Black American family. Daddy's baby, mama's maybe, or is it mama's baby, daddy's baby? Whatever. You have always been left to hold the line. You've always been left there waiting for the bus. And there's been many buses that went past your way. But be rest assured, the next bus that's coming, you ain't got to pay no fare. Everything gonna go your way if you let go and let God. Be concerned about the well-being of the children. That has always been your mission since you have been ordained by God as caretaker of the future. In doing so, you have been equipped through your genealogy, that you have the ability to weigh this storm. This is nothing to you. Women in your family, this is nothing to you. Your family has seen worse than this. Only thing is, this is visual. Okay, and if you were alive in 1932, that crap would be visual too. It always looked darkest before the dawn. It always looked darkest before the dawn. All you got to do is hold on. Like Reverend Cleveland say, hold on. Don't do like Jesse and wonder who left the gate open, but be like Cleveland and hold on. Okay? And like Cleveland say, you are no ways tired. You're not tired yet. You just started your journey through this new event in our country's history. So you're not tired yet. You're not worthless yet. You're not down to your last yet. It may look down to your last. One of the individuals which I love so much was Bobby Womack. Broke my heart when he died.
Yes.
He had a song about an individual called Harry the Hippie. In these lyrics, he spoke of Harry's old lady. Anytime that you feel weak, anytime you feel that all hope is lost, you go get that song and you listen to that song and you hear about Harry's old lady.
Music therapy.
Okay? Because see, Harry old lady, she don't understand defeat. She don't understand dismayment. She don't understand those words. Those words are not in her vernacular. They're not part of her dictionary. All she knows is she got to get it. And that's what I tell you to get it. Don't waddle in what you believe is your misery because you're not living the good times that you used to have. All right? Get in there, get out there and get on your grind, girl. Leave them Saudis, them Koreans, all them people at the weave store, leave their asses alone. Okay? Fashion Bug and all them other companies like that have all that bad body clothing that y'all been wearing. The tummy is not the new stomach.
That's right.
And the show ain't the new breast. Leave all that alone. It's not a place for that. Focus on your home, your children, and making a way through this storm. Right? And for all y'all that has emotional turmoil, them DCF kids that suffer from low self-esteem, leave them jailhouse Negroes alone. Okay? Because they only after your stimulus check. Okay? And when that stimulus check is gone, he's going to be with your girlfriend who just got her stimulus check.
Oh, damn.
Okay, cause he AKA Peter Rabbit, because he don't do nothing but go from hole to hole to hole. Please stay away from AKA Peter Rabbit.
True. You don't need that in your life right now.
No, you don't need that right now. And his dope money ain't gonna pull up the slack.
You don't need it ever in your life. That's right.
Because dope money then went from 75 cents on the dollar to 28 cents on the dollar. They are reaching hard economic times too themselves. And when the door open up, they not gonna make no money. You can't make money from people who ain't got no money. So their situation ain't gonna do nothing but get worse, and you got the police fucking with you. Excuse me.
No, it's the truth. It's the truth.
It's the truth. So, you know, that's a lost proposition. The T-shirt boys have seen their last day. Okay, because that's all they do. They got one T-shirt. They don't wash their ass. They don't put no water between them and their environment. They put a brand new T-shirt on. That's why I call them the T-shirt boys.
T-shirt boys.
Okay. And them chicks that be messing with the T-shirt boys, they must suffer from the virus, because they got a smelling problem. They can't sense smell. They know that nigga ain't washed his ass. You know what I'm saying? He ain't even tried to get a speed stick into the relationship. But, you know, that's just me and my comments. Me, myself, I like sure. Okay, because I'm sensitive. I am sensitive. I need yeah, man. I can't be wondering. I smell myself. Like Granddad, you know, my granddad used to tell us, if you don't smell yourself, you're in trouble. So she'll be all right. She'll be all right. She didn't become grandmama just because she woke up with the wrong Negro. Try to tell you. Grandmama means that you have forged the river of the test of time. You have waded through rivers that are deep and shallow. So this flood that we going through, you ain't gonna do nothing but roll down the river. Keep on rolling, rolling on down the river. Don't be worried. It's many a times that I wake up and I'm deeply concerned about my bills. And God knows I got a bunch of them, just like the rest of America. That's part of the way of life here. But I'm not going to allow those individuals to put me in such a mental state, and I advise anyone, all right? They can't do nothing to you that they can't follow up after you dead. If they, whatever they could do to you, if they can't follow it up after you dead, I wouldn't even worry about it. All right? Because this is something we all know, we all gonna die. Your deepest concern is how much suffering you're gonna do upon this earth. Well, from the day one, you came out of the womb and you were assaulted by that doctor, because he physically assaulted you.
Smacked me upside the head, I'm telling you.
Right.
There's a white man too. I knew I was gonna catch hell.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about from the birth room to the ballot box. They just slapped me all around the place. Right? So it's been tough for Black people since our first breath. Okay? You were physically assaulted as a child to be brought into this world. You are physically assaulted as you go through this world. And as you are at your last going home to glory, you are possibly physically assaulted not only by the state, by the undertaker, and by some preachers, and even some sidewise relatives looking for a piece of the check.
Exactly.
So think. You have endured so many things and have to endure so many things in the near future or in the possible future, if there is going to be one. Me, myself, my personal relationship with Jesus Christ, he my homeboy and he be riding out with me. He told me it's going to be tomorrow, so I ain't going to worry. He told me this. He say, Metris, it's going to be a tomorrow. You go to bed and I'm going to wake you up. Every day he wake you up, it's going to be all right, because that's the hardest part of the day. That's the worst thing you're going to have to can confront in your whole day, whether or not you're going to wake up to face the day. Everything else can be handled and managed. But that first step, waking up in the morning, that's the doozy. If you can get past that one, ain't none of that right there that you're going to face during the day going to bother you. Because you'll be able to look that person in the eye and say, God woke me up this morning. What can you do? You can't move like him. You can't groove like him. You might want and think you him, but you're not him. So don't worry, sister girl. It'll be all right. Don't get your panties in a bunch. It'll be all right. Make sure you got a pantry. Start that pantry. Take some of that $1,200, build you a pantry. Then all you have to do is add a little bit to it every month. And then you take a little bit, and you'll see that you have sufficient enough substance. Put a little money on your power bill. They can't turn it off if you put a little something on it. They can ask for the money, they can demand for the money, but they can't turn that bitch off. The water companies, they some devils. So the quality of water ain't even worth what you're paying for. All the water's contaminated. From Cape Canaveral all the way to Buffalo. You still there, Lance?
Loud and clear, brother.
Oh, okay. Okay, because you got quiet. I get nervous when people get quiet because they be looking at me. They saying, this brother just be telling everybody business.
But you know
I was
what?
on face.
We all interconnected, brother. So when you speak, you know, no matter where we're coming from, no matter what our experience is, even now, this shows that we're connected, because other people don't have it like this. And maybe some they do, meaning that, and I always say it, in tough times, I mean, I know I'm a vegan, but somebody has some chicken. The next door neighbor has a little sugar. Somebody else has lemons growing in their backyard, and somebody got a couple bags of frozen vegetables. Yes, sir.
There you go. The bargaining system.
Exactly. So we show up at each other's door, and we cook and we laugh and we forget what it's all about. And we belong to each other. We're connected to each other. We're heaven on earth for each other. And none of us are perfect. So even though that alcoholic granddaddy is over there, he gets up and he pitches in somehow. Maybe he washes the dishes, but we all got to move on.
And you make sure he get a plate. You go by his house, you take him a plate. Do like your mama and your grandmama. Go back to being black. Abandon being Afro-American and go back to when you loved one another. When we were forced that if you mess with one, you mess with thousands.
And let me just say that for those who don't understand, when Mr. Political says Afro-American and black, well, Chris Rock said it really good before. He says you got black people and you got niggas. Well, the Afro-Americans in Mr. Political's dictionary means the N-word. So, you know, we're not that. Those who are here in the chat room and most who are listening, but we are black, okay? And I know some of us have a problem with the word black. I understand, but this is what we've been using. And so, you know, when he says that, don't take offense unless you happen to be what Chris Rock says is a nigga. And most of us are not. Most of us are not. You know, my thing is that if you go into a garbage can and take a nap, or a big dumpster and take those things stink. When are you going to get up out of there? What do you expect to smell like roses? So most of us have come up in this situation, especially in America, where it's been a rough ride. There's been some stink situations we've been put into. So sometimes we don't speak the best language, as far as, well, we might cuss a little bit too much, and but we have a good heart. We've been, like I said, you don't know how many of our sisters have been violated from young. So they may appear to be bipolar, what they call, but they're not. They came up in a situation, they had no choice but to have an on and off switch, because they don't know who to open up to, especially if your uncle or your stepdaddy touched you, or your cousins. You know what I mean? We have the innocent young man who's trying his best, and he may have a dysfunctional family. Now the cops are messing with him, and he don't know why. You know what I mean? So we've been through a lot, and we got to understand that maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a specialist here who can tell me, but trauma can be passed down. If you have somebody over you who's raising you, and they've gone through extreme trauma. So do you think that this is going to be a great situation to be raised up in? You pick up their rhythm. And so when you finally go outside to the outside world, you say, whoa, that was normal for me, but this is not a right situation, especially when you get around people who have slightly better situations.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For many of us, what I mean to say is that this life is like a big tangled ball of yarn, but we don't know that it's a tangled ball of yarn. So before we leave this earth, we got to figure out a way to untangle it. And so some of us move around and you want some yarn off the yarn, but you can't pull it off all the way because it's tangled. And you think that little 1.5 feet of yarn that you got off of the roll is all you have, but you're so tangled up. I'm not saying it's to put you down, but we all have some unraveling to do from our past and from the things we've been through, but we are not that. We are great. And sometimes we may not have money, but we have a thought in our mind where you got to understand this, that we are great and we are strong enough to conquer anything. So I just noticed somebody would feel that out there, man. And that's why I said, let me reach out to Mr. Political, because I did call you. I said, man, we need to hear from you. And I'm gonna wrap it down soon. This was a quick one because we got some more stuff coming all day. But I woke up and we put a little thing on, and I said, I knew you had a word for somebody.
I just want to make one shout out before you let me go.
Take your time. Give it a shout out to whole Cocoa.
This is to the people of Cocoa and the surrounding boroughs. We need to give great circulation to a attorney who has became my brother, your brother, and your neighbor. His name is Edmonds Law. He has a law firm in Cocoa, Florida.
Okay.
He does great work with our charter school, Emma Jewel. And as our children are going through these hard times, him and his crew of great individuals, along with our mayor, Jake Williams, have given up themselves and their safety and their time from their family to provide substance for the children of District 1. And we do love you for this. We do thank you, and you will always be in our hearts, in our minds. And as we go through these trials and tribulations, I want to say to Mayor Jake Williams, to Attorney Edmund Law, and the director of the Emma Jewel Academy, we thank you for the love that you have given us, and we will always keep you in mind when love is given in return.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let me just say, Mr. Political, I want to get a list. I want to compile a list so we can store it on my forum, Melanin Envy. And we have every country. We're going to have every country. We have every state set up in the United States. I want you on there. I want your contact. Not right now. I'm going to be working on all day long. I feel strong. We're coming out swinging. We have segment 7 coming and very, very soon this morning. We're into the early afternoon. That's going to be live. I'm going to be working on these things, and people all over the country, no matter where you are, if you have a good lawyer, which we know many times different types of lawyers can only operate on a local level, but I want you to go into Melanin Envy and put the information down about that. I'm going to put up an area for businesses and different things like that. Or if you know a person who has skills on the internet, well, that can go anywhere. I want us to have our own Black Wall Street referral system from people who hands-on know these people, and we can put it up there that we can say, hey, this is somebody that this person recommended, because we're in the chat rooms. We get to know each other up to a certain point, but it's good to get it from the people who can say, hey, this is what they did for me. So in the midst of this world coming down and America falling and the world economic system falling, that's their world. This is a reset for us. You see what I mean? So we don't have nothing to be scared about. But a lot of people have been reaching out to me. Exactly.
This is a new day. We've been set free.
That's right.
And, all right.
That's
and
right.
always remember this, Mr. Edmonds Law, this digital green book that we get ready to put into play.
Yes.
All right. It's going to be the beneficiary for all the Black Americans. And I thank Lance for giving the description of what I mean. It is not, Afro-American is not a positive term. It's a term of individuals who do not know who they are, who have lost hope. That's why they have resorted to that versus to who they really are. They're living in a fantasy. They're under the misconception that integration is going to work in their best interest and that they have achieved the American dream. But as we see through this virus, that you too can fall from grace. You too can come up short, and yes, your dream can disappear. All right, and in that you digress to who you were before you imagine who you think you are, the Black. Welcome home. Happy birthday.
Mr. Political in the house. You're on Facebook. I'm going to get the exact address. And on the next show, I'm going to put it out there so folks can reach you directly. So we're going to be trying to set some things up so that we all can stay in contact with each other. It doesn't have to be where it's just on a show. I want everybody to be in contact with each other, to vibe with each other, because many people who call the LANCESCURV show or watch it, they're right next door to each other and don't even know it. We can't have that. We got to get them together. You know what I mean? So that's my vision. That's my vision. This was all about inspiration this morning. I hope you all have been inspired, even those who we don't see on the show. I see 189 people here. The bottom line is we have a few who are in the chat room, but there's somebody who benefited. And I hope that we reached out to you and touched you in a certain way. And if not, we're going to come back with more inspiration. And you ain't going to hang around me and feel down, because we're always going to lift you up. Thank you, Mr. Political. Thank you so much. This was a short one.
Keep the business out the street.
And I'll be out there within 2 or 3 days, man. And we'll get some real live Mr. Political live streams and some footage. We got to keep it moving. I told you, I'm committed to this. I vowed to this. I lived this. And all of us who are here, we're going to benefit. Nothing's going to stop us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, brother.
All right.
Okay.
Much love, my brother. Bye-bye.
You, brother. Peace.
Peace.
My Lord is I lost my love. To the groove, I noticed I lost my love. To the groove, I noticed I lost my love. My Lord is I lost my love. To the groove, my Lord is I lost my love. To the groove, my Lord is I lost my love.
We'll be back soon, family. Sooner than you think. LANCESCURV out.